You think you know The Fifth Element, the neon-soaked, action-packed sci-fi masterpiece from 1997? Think again. This is the movie that gave us flying taxis, blue-skinned opera singers, and Bruce Willis saving the world with a woman made of pure light. But here's the thing, hidden underneath all that chaos are secrets most fans never notice. Today, we're counting down the 10 wild moments that make this movie even crazier than you remember. And trust me, number 7 will blow your mind. Fact number 1. Leeloo's regeneration was revolutionary. So let's rewind to 1997. Picture this. A burned-out chunk of alien DNA arrives in a futuristic lab. Scientists fire up their machines and piece by piece, bone, muscle, tissue, skin, a body is reborn. It's Leeloo's regeneration scene, and in the 90s, this was jaw-dropping. Luc Besson's team pulled it off by combining live-action, miniatures, early CGI, and particle systems. The look was inspired by real medical scans like the Visible Human Project. Except here, the data wasn't just being studied, it was being rebuilt. Remember, this was long before modern 3D prototyping. They basically invented the style of digital body printing on the fly. So when you see Leeloo's skeleton knit together into a living, breathing human, you're not just watching sci-fi. You're watching one of the most revolutionary VFX sequences of the 1990s. This wasn't sci-fi magic, it was movie-making magic. And while Leeloo was being built piece by piece, something else was missing entirely. In fact, it's what wasn't shown on screen that might be the biggest twist of all. Fact number 2. Zorg and Corbin never meet. Think about it. What's the first thing you expect in a hero versus villain story? A big showdown, right? The hero and the bad guy face to face. But in The Fifth Element, that never happens. Bruce Willis as Corbin Dallas, Gary Oldman as Jean-Baptiste Zorg. 2 powerhouse performances, and they never even look each other in the eye. Not once. Luc Besson designed it this way. Their fight wasn't meant to be personal, it was symbolic. Zorg was chaos, greed, destruction. Corbin was survival, love, humanity. By keeping them apart, the story feels less like a duel and more like a clash of worlds. And speaking of worlds colliding, how about a brand new one? Because Besson didn't stop at visuals, he actually invented an entire language from scratch. Fact number 3. Leeloo learned a real alien language. That rapid-fire alien speech Leeloo rattles off? Totally real. Luc Besson, with linguist Mwen Lebiscogo, created a full 400-word fictional language called the Divine Language. Grammar, syntax, a real vocabulary. And here's the wild part. Mila Jovovich didn't just memorize it for a scene. She learned it so well that she and Besson would actually write each other letters in the language during filming. By the end of the shoot, she could literally converse in an alien tongue. So when you watch Leeloo burst out in divine language, it doesn't feel like gibberish, because it isn't. It's fluent, alien dialogue spoken by someone who actually knows it. But while Leeloo's alien words were hidden in plain sight, another Easter egg was hiding in the music. And this one takes us straight to a galaxy far, far away. Fact number 4. Star Wars Easter eggs hide in the Diva's song. The opera scene is unforgettable. The lights dim, the blue-skinned diva takes the stage, and her voice shakes the theater. But listen closely, like really closely. Composer Eric Serra laced in a little surprise underneath the aria, hidden beneath the futuristic beats. You can hear faint Star Wars sound effects, TIE fighter swoops, tucked right into the score. It's so subtle you might never notice, but once you do, you can't unhear it. A cheeky nod to Lucas's space saga, right in the middle of Besson's space opera. And if you thought sneaking in Star Wars was wild, wait until you find out how the diva pulled off those impossible high notes. Fact number 5. The diva's impossible high notes were AI enhanced. Let's be honest, those vocal flips, they don't sound human. And that's because they weren't. Opera singer Inva Mula sang the first half of the aria live, but those lightning-fast note jumps near the end? Completely impossible for a human throat. So the production team stepped in with 1990s digital processing, what we'd now call early AI-style tech. They stretched, spliced, and enhanced the performance to create something no singer could ever do naturally. It wasn't just opera anymore. It was opera re-engineered by computers, decades before AI music became a thing. And while the diva was breaking sound barriers with her voice, Zorg was breaking nerves with a weapon that was a little too real for comfort. Fact number 6. Zorg's super weapon was fully functional. Remember that scene where Zorg shows off his insane super weapon, the ZF-1? Flamethrower, rockets, net launcher, a replay fire machine gun that literally bends bullets. It feels like something straight out of a video game. Here's the crazy part. That prop wasn't just CGI fakery. The ZF-1 was built as a practical effects prop with working pieces. The flamethrower? Real. The moving mechanics? Real. Effects teams actually engineered functional components for it. And Gary Oldman? Yeah, he admitted he was nervous holding it. Can you blame him? Imagine being handed a prop that actually spits fire while you're supposed to casually monologue on camera. That's commitment to realism, and a little bit terrifying. And speaking of terrifying, nothing gets your pulse racing like a high-speed chase. But The Fifth Element didn't just stage a car chase, it broke boundaries, literally. Fact number 7, the hover car chase broke a Guinness World Record. Corbin Dallas is trying to outrun the cops in his beat-up flying taxi, weaving through neon skyscrapers, dodging traffic, free-falling between buildings. The hover car chase is pure chaos. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just thrilling, it was history-making. The sequence used a whopping 188 visual effects shots, the most ever attempted for a non-Hollywood movie at the time. To pull it off, Besson's team used everything. Miniature models of futuristic New York, CGI overlays, matte paintings, and live-action stunt rigs. It was like 4 different film techniques stitched into one high-speed roller coaster. No wonder it still looks incredible decades later. This wasn't just movie action, it was a record-breaking milestone in special effects. But while the chase was record-breaking, the real jaw-dropper comes later, in an opera house. A scene so shocking it flips the entire story on its head. Fact number 8, Diva's death reveals a shocking secret. The diva finishes her aria. The crowd is in awe, and then chaos. Gunfire erupts, she's shot, and the theater collapses into panic. And then comes the twist. With her dying breath, the diva reveals that the 4 elemental stones, the key to saving Earth, are hidden inside her own body. It's a moment that redefines everything. Suddenly, this graceful performer becomes a tragic sacrifice. The secret isn't in some vault or guarded by soldiers. It's been carried with her all along. Rewatch that scene with this knowledge and it hits differently. Every note she sang, every step she took on stage, was weighted with the burden of holding humanity's last hope inside her. Absolutely chilling. And if you thought that was shocking, wait until you notice how the number 5 secretly creeps its way into the film again and again. Fact number 9, the number 5 is everywhere. The movie's called The Fifth Element, but it's not just the title. Once you start looking for it, the number 5 is hidden everywhere. Corbin's taxi ID ends with the number 5. Zorg's stock ticker? Yep, there's a 5 tucked in there. And that temple finale? Exactly 5 beams of light converge to awaken the ultimate power. It's not accidental, it's thematic. The entire movie is built on this idea of balance, of elements coming together, and the mysterious 5th that ties it all. So the next time you rewatch it, keep an eye out. 5 is everywhere, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And speaking of ancient mysteries, the movie doesn't just play with numbers. It actually digs into real history carved in stone. Fact number 10, real Egyptian hieroglyphics in the temple. The opening scene drops us into an ancient Egyptian temple. Stone walls covered in mysterious carvings, guardians keeping secrets, and a prophecy thousands of years in the making. And here's the detail most people miss. Those hieroglyphics, they weren't random scribbles. Luc Besson brought in Egyptologists and had the carvings carefully replicated from authentic examples housed in the Louvre. That means the opening of this flashy, futuristic sci-fi epic is actually grounded in real-world history. Ancient Egypt, literally carved into the DNA of the movie. It's one of those tiny touches that makes the film feel timeless. Part history, part fantasy, part sci-fi fever dream. And while those carvings connect us to the past, there's one detail hidden in plain sight that connects us to the future. and it's right there on Corbin Dallas's dashboard. Bonus fact: Corbin's taxi dashboard is packed with Easter eggs. Corbin's taxi isn't just a beat-up flying cab, it's a goldmine of Easter eggs. If you freeze-frame the dashboard, you'll catch details most fans completely miss. A yellow cab 221B sticker, a sly nod to Sherlock Holmes's famous Baker Street address, a tiny priest veto tag hidden on the console, even miniature city laws printed right across the controls. These details flash by in seconds, but they add so much texture. They make the world feel messy, lived in, and real. Because in the future, just like now, nobody keeps a spotless dashboard. It's that level of detail, the kind you only notice on the 10th rewatch, that turns The Fifth Element from just another sci-fi flick into a cult classic. So, there you have it. From groundbreaking effects to shocking twists, from record-breaking chases to Sherlock Holmes stickers, The Fifth Element is absolutely packed with wild secrets. It's more than a movie. It's a puzzle box of details, waiting for fans to discover. Which of these moments blew your mind the most? Was it the diva's AI-enhanced vocals? Leeloo's real alien language? Or the fact that Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman never even meet on screen? Drop your favorite in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you thought this was fun, don't miss our next countdown. 10 wild moments you never noticed in Superman, the movie, 1978. Because if you think you know these classics, trust me, there's always more to discover.